Good morning and welcome everyone to a wonderful day. Today we are working on a 99 Chevy Silverado 5.3 liter Vortec. It is my favorite truck that I have. I have multiple of them, but it is by far my favorite. We are doing an oil pump in it, and hopefully we do not have to drop the oil pan. From everything I've seen we have to, but a couple said you don't, and I'm hoping I don't because I don't have a lift and I really don't want to drop my front CV axle for my 4x4. So we're hoping we can get that done and get that out of the way. So that's mostly what today's video is going to be about. I'm going to try and get as good of an angle and record as much that I can to help other people who have a 5.3 liter Chevy. 99 to 2007 should be about the same with the 5.3s. I'm not for sure, don't quote me on that, but I'm hoping that this video will help anyone who has this problem or needs to fix it. My truck started having low oil pressure and it started dropping. It would hit bottom, go to zero. My gauge would tell me it'd go to zero. And I was so worried about it, and so I did research like everyone does, and I changed the sending unit, which is in the back of the engine, and it fixed it for a while, but I started having more problems. And then everyone that I've talked to said that it's the O-ring on the pickup tube or it's the pump itself, so I figure I might as well kill two birds with one stone and do both of them at the same time, because if you're going to go in there, might as well. It's a bit expensive, but it's worth it if it's a truck you want to keep running, and these trucks are notorious for their dropping their oil pressure, so I'm hoping it fixes it. I miss driving my truck. I ain't driven in a while, but hopefully today we'll get her running and get her fixed, and we'll see what happens. So, but let's go from there and see what we can do. Alrighty, so right now currently I've already taken my intake off. I have an aftermarket cold air intake. I already took it off. It is a flat tip or a Phillips for a band clamp right here. I had to take it off right here as well, or right here on the tube as well, to take it all the way off. The fan cover was 2 bolts on each side and plastic retainer clips on the bottom, and I recommend you can jimmy out the bottom plastic, but I recommend waiting and not doing that until you take the fan off. I'm currently trying to find a adjustable or a 32-inch ratchet, open-ended, yeah. But trying to find one of those so we can take the fan and the clutch and everything off to get to the water pump, which will be next. But to get that bottom plastic out, you want to take the fan out first. It's just so you don't have to push anything, pull anything, really break anything when you're doing it. So that's going to be the next step, is taking the fan off to get the plastic piece off, and then after that we will move on to taking the water pump out so we can get to the crankshaft pulley, which I will have to go rent or go borrow one of those from a parts store, or buy one depending on how I'm feeling, so I can get that off. I will leave the part number down in the description of the video, so if anyone's doing this and they need it as well, they will have that information available to them. If I can get it to come out without dropping the pan. If I can't get it out without dropping the pan, I will probably make a short video telling you it does not work. But let's hope that's not the case. You'll have to keep watching to find out. Let's hope that it ends pretty good and I can get my truck back and run in order. We were able, I don't know if you can see down in there, but we were able to get on the big nut that was back here that you can't get a socket to. It has to be open, which I think is a 32 and bigger than a like 1 inch and something massive, we were able to get this old pipe wrench, which is a 14-inch pipe wrench. We were able to get it back there. Luckily, as you can probably tell from the look of it, I've had to change my water pump in the past, which honestly made it a lot easier to get that fan clutch off. I would recommend hitting it with some PB Blaster. I wouldn't recommend WD-40. It doesn't work for me, honestly. It might for you. I'm not telling you, what to do, but I wouldn't. But after you get that out, the plastic piece comes out on the bottom, which, let me see, right down there on the bottom, if you can see, it is out and we are completely clean. So the next step that we will have is getting the bottom belt off, which I already popped the serpentine belt off. You put a socket on and this compresses that way, and you take the belt off. I'm going to pop the bottom belt off, and then we will get to the water pump, which will be the next step. And then after we get the water pump and everything off, I will have to run and get that crank pulley, but that will be in a little bit. But let's get that bottom belt off and get to the water pump for now. Okay, so now I've gotten the other crankshaft belt off, which is this one right here. I'll probably pick up a new one while I'm out. It is quite bad. All it takes is a 3/8 drive down here on the tensioner, and you push it down and it will come right off. Do not pull it to the front to take it off. It is a lot harder that way. Push the belt itself behind the crank and then take it off over here, and then it will come straight off. It is a lot easier that way. Save you the hassle, save you the time, because time is money in a lot of people's eyes. So try and get it done as quick and easy as you can. Nothing I do is ever easy, so we'll probably run into a bunch of bumps. Thankfully nothing so far, but I'm not calling it right now because it'll probably end up pretty bad. So, but fixing to go ahead and take the coolant lines off. I have to find something to drain my coolant down into. But we're gonna be popping, bring you over here. We're going to be pulling these two lines, the main radiator line that goes to the thermostat, and I think that's the only lines that we will have to pull, and then we will be able to take the main bolts right here and here and throughout to get the water pump off. We will also have to take the top AC, or not AC, radiator line off, which won't be too hard, I'm hoping. So, but we're gonna pull all those off and drain it down into something. If you want to reuse your coolant, find something you can drain it into and then do it from there. I would not recommend doing that. I'm just gonna fill it with brand new coolant. I don't know the last time my trucks had new coolant, so we'll see and go from there. So let me go find something to drop the coolant down into, and then we're gonna pop these hoses off and go from there. Alrighty, so now that I've gotten all the hoses off, which thankfully is a lot easier for me because I've changed my water pump before. Pop these two off take their clamps off and pop them off. Clamp, pop, and they all come off. We didn't have anywhere to drain the coolant, and truthfully my papa said he did not care, so I just kind of dumped it to the floor, well, to the ground, and letting it kind of drain right now. Next step will be taking the bolts off and pulling the water pump completely off, and then we can go get the crankshaft pulley to take the pulley off. But let me pop the water pump off real quick. Okay, so now that I've taken all 6 10mm bolts out of the water pump came right off. It might be a little bit more difficult, like I've said a couple times. I've done this part before, but now we're getting into parts I have not touched since I've gotten the truck, so we will see how that goes. I have to run up and get the crank pulley, and then we will go from there. But all it takes is 10 millimeter bolts, 6 of them, 3 on each side, and the pump comes right off. Make sure to get new gaskets for the water pump. Mine did break, sadly, but I did get new ones, thankfully. So just make sure that you do not reuse bad gaskets. If they look all right, should be fine to use them, but just keep a wary mind not to reuse bad gaskets, and just keep a good mind. Don't do that. And so yeah, I'll be back with the crankshaft puller. We'll use it and get that crank off and then go from there. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to wrap up this video here. I know that it is quite a quick cut from how it was brighter earlier today, and now it's almost, 6, 7 at night. Moral of the story is if you have a 99 to 2007 5.3 liter to 6.0 or the 4.8 or any of the LS engines, do not try and change your oil pump at your house unless you have a good weekend and a lot of equipment. There's no way to get the bottom bolt hole out, or the bottom bolt out of the pump without dropping the tank. I have tried all day long and there is no way. I see why people pay mechanics who have shops. So sorry about that interruption. That was the air compressor from when we were blowing out the oil pump. So my plan for my truck now is to just clean everything up good. I think it was the gunk down in the engine that was really doing it. If it fixes it, I will add a short update video to let you know if that does. I probably will not finish it today on this part. I will put this as part 1 of trying to change the oil pump. It did not work. For the puller, it is a Chrysler pulley puller from O'Reilly's, Advanced. They all have them, but it's the Chrysler one that works for the stock crankshaft pulley, not the harmonic balancer. They will not pull that up on the parts list for O'Reilly's, but it is the crankshaft pulley. And if you're looking for an OEM replacement at O'Reilly's, it is a 5.7 Camaro that it pulls up under. I learned that the hard way, and they are ridiculously expensive, so do not break yours like I broke mine. But I'm gonna call it quits there for this part. I'll probably do this some other time. So But hopefully it fixes it. Hopefully just giving it a good cleaning fixes it. If you're going to change it, like I said, take it to somebody. It's worth them doing it. If you have a lift, try and do it. It is so much easier if you have a two-wheel drive. If you own a four-wheel drive, you are going to have a hard time. Trust me. I know. I'm sad I couldn't change it without dropping the pan. I chose to not drop the pan and suck it up and hope that it was just gunk. I'm gonna wrap the video up there. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope it was useful. I hope it helped you. I recommend do not trying it. Was not worth it in my opinion. So thanks for watching. I'll try and post more videos as it goes on. Thanks for watching my first video ever, really. I hope I have a good time with it, and I hope that you enjoy watching my content. So, yeah, I hope it works. So I'm probably going to call it a day, and we'll pick it back up, part 2, next time I can. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, guys.